Baton Rouge's Morning News. Karen Henderson, Kevin Meeks with you this morning. A new report details the worst sugary cereals for your kids. We want to talk now with author of Sugar Rehab, Dr. Gerald Edelman. Good morning to you, doctor.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing well. You know, I know there's a lot of sugar in a lot of cereals. You know, some of the worst offenders when we're talking sugar, some of the cereals. So tell us what the study found.
Sure. So the study found that a lot of these sugary cereals have about 50% sugar by weight.
Good.
But I like to say it a different way. I like to tell you that there's about 15 teaspoons of sugar that the average child's consuming in these sugary cereals. 15 teaspoons or more.
That's not per box, is it? That's per serving.
No, that's per serving.
Yeah. Wow.
And so what happens is, just look around you. There's a lot of fat, obese children in our society. There's less exercise nowadays, and we're getting pounded by these companies with sugar. The cereals that we're talking about are off, but how about the low-fat yogurts that in a serving have about 6 teaspoons of sugar in them?
And you also have to watch what they say a serving is. For cereals in particular, my husband started measuring, you know, and what we would typically think of in America as a servings may be 2 compared to what actually is a serving on that box.
Now, that's absolutely right. And the other thing about it is sugar and cereal, that they're inherently not very satisfying foods for long term. I mean, you may get a good hit for an hour or so. We've all had a couple donuts on the run in the morning, and what happens? About an hour, 2 hours later, we're hungry again, usually for another sugary thing. Because sugar, let's face it, sugar is an addicting property, you know? It's an addicting chemical.
Oh, it tastes so good, too. Absolutely. But, and you know, and you're right. I mean, if you're going to eat a donut or two on the run, you know that's loaded with sugar. I mean, how crazy could you be if you didn't? But some of these cereals hide it well, don't they?
Yeah, they sure do. And so there's a lot of marketing going on to us consumers with, healthy-looking packaging, like, you know, the granola bars, you know, and the low-fat yogurts. And there's usually brown and green packaging, may say pure on it. The problem is, if it looks healthy in our society, marketing it, it's probably not healthy. Mm-hmm. And I teach people in my book, Sugar Rehab, look at the sugars per serving. That's really what you need to focus on, especially as a parent. And try to work with your children and get to 2 grams or less per serving. Only bring that kind of food in your home. That's what I do in my book. Okay list, not okay list. And that's a natural guide that will lead you to the promised land, which is the promised land is a well-balanced, low-sugar diet.
Wow, 2 grams or less. We're going to have our work cut out for us finding that. But good advice. Dr. Gerald Edelman, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me on.